David's deer. Pere David's deer, also known as the milu, is a deer that lives in the river valleys and temperate grasslands of northeastern China. It has a red tan-colored coat in the summer and a thick grey coat in the winter. Males are larger than females and have large branched antlers with backward-facing tines. They vary in height from 95 centimeters to 1.2 meters tall at the shoulder and 1.8 meters to 2.16 meters long. Males weigh 160 kilos to 214 kilos, and females weigh 145 kilos to 180 kilos. During the breeding season, the male Pere David's deer will practice antler adorning, where they decorate their antlers with plants to signal dominance. How cool is that? The Chinese name for Pere David's deer is Xie Pu Xiang, which I've definitely pronounced wrong, which means none of the four, because it's said that it has a donkey tail, a camel's neck, a cow's hooves, and a deer's antlers. Kind of like a platypus, I guess, where it's this mix of body parts from different animals. The male deers shed their antlers every year in December to January and regrow them in May for the breeding season. The deer are also semi-aquatic and spend a lot of their time wallowing and feeding in rivers, so it's a good thing we gave them a large water area in this habitat. Pere David's deer live in small groups of 10 to 20 individuals made up of 5 to 10 interrelated females, their offspring, and a dominant male. Subordinate males live solitarily on the periphery of these groups. The breeding season for Pere David's deer is between July and August. During this time, the males compete for female harems by chasing each other, making intimidating roars, and clashing horns. The winner gains access to the female group and will guard the herd from other males. While defending a harem, the males will not eat and therefore rapidly lose weight. Hence, they will likely be ousted by a rival male who is less weak after some time. During his time with the harem, the male will mate with all receptive females in the group. Gestation lasts for 9.3 months, after which the female will give birth to a single fawn, although twin births do occur occasionally. The fawn starts eating grasses at 1 month old and is fully weaned by 1 to 11 months old, by which point the mother is likely to be close to giving birth again. Adult female deer remain with their natal herd, and the natal herds may split if they become too large. Male deer leave their mother's group after weaning, but they don't reach full growth until 27 months old, and are therefore unlikely to be large or dominant enough to defend a harem and mate until they're at least 3 to 7 years old. The conservation history of Pere David's deer is an interesting one, and unfortunately they are currently considered extinct in the wild. The deer was thought to have gone extinct due to overhunting around 800 to 1,200 years ago, with only a small captive population surviving in the Chinese Emperor's Imperial Hunting Park. French missionary Armand David, Pere David meaning Father David, successfully acquired and sent deer to Europe. In the 1900s, the captive Chinese population was wiped out by a flood and then German occupants. However, the previously secured specimens had been bred and preserved in Europe, the Duke of Bedford forming a breeding herd at his home in England for the remaining deer he acquired from European zoos. All of Pere David's deer alive today are traced back to these 3 individuals, and the captive population is strong with many animals in zoos around the world. Beginning in 1985, reintroduction efforts were made using captive bred deer, and groups of between 20 to 40 individuals were reintroduced into northeastern China. There are now close to 10,000 Pere David's deer in the world, 7,400 living in nature reserves, and 2,800 wild individuals. Despite this, the species is still heavily managed. Even the wild deer have their history in captive or managed herds, so their behavior and breeding habits are likely to not be what they originally were. So although these guys were completely extinct in the wild, hopefully our zoo can help out to breed up the numbers of captive species and release them into the wild as a reintroduction of the captive species. As long as we can preserve these guys, I'm sure that in future generations they can develop their own wild behaviors, and we can hopefully get back to where we were before they were extinct in the wild. And now these beautiful animals are in here, and look at them enjoying